Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new or if you are returning, just a reminder that my channel is all about empowering you to live healthy and free in your mind, body, and spirit. Now, getting right into the video, I have been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm super excited to share my thoughts with you on this specific subject because Brittany Lupton has been someone that I have followed from close to the beginning of her journey when she started a YouTube channel. And what really drew me to her was her very balanced and honest approach to fitness and creating YouTube videos and sharing her life. And I really respect her for a lot of reasons. I think that she brings a really fresh perspective and a lot of ingenuity to the fitness industry. So kudos to you, Brittany Lupton, if you are watching this. That being said, the reason why I wanted to try one of her week of workouts videos was because I feel like her workout split is very similar to mine. Currently, I train 4 days a week. I do 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days, of which 2 of those upper body days are push and pull, which if you don't know what that is, pull is back and biceps with maybe some rear delts, kind of the back of your shoulders. And then push day is all obviously pushing motions, chest, triceps, and of course shoulders. The week of workouts that I chose from Brittany Lupton is found on YouTube, and I will link that below. That way you can go ahead and support her as well. Obviously, this video is not in affiliation with her. I don't know Brittany Lupton personally, and I will say just because I respect her in a lot of areas, it doesn't mean that I endorse her life in every area. So please don't take this and say, if Megan is sharing this, that means I should do everything that Brittany Lupton does, because we're all individual people and we all have our own convictions. So I will just say, like, take everything with a grain of salt and think about it and really see if it's right for you or if it resonates with you. If you don't feel peace about, looking at her YouTube video or whatever it is, just don't do it. And that's all I will say on that. My channel is all about sharing life and sharing hope. I don't want to bring anybody down or dog on anybody. And I just want to offer some fun suggestions and ideas for you guys to try in your own life. Getting right into it, this is a 4-day split, as I mentioned before, super doable if you are a busy person. And what I have noticed about a lot of Brittany Lupton's workouts is that she focuses more on muscle strength versus muscle endurance. And that's where we have a lot of similarities, because my usual sets and rep ranges will be, for example, 5 times 5 or 4 times 8. If you don't know what that is, also 4 times 8 is just 4 sets of 8 reps. And I do that because I like to lift a lot of weight and I feel very empowered when I can lift more than I did the day before. So just briefly looking over Brittany Lupton's week of workouts before even doing them, I can see that she does a lot of 4 times 8. She'll do 3 times 10 and throw in some heavy weights at the beginning, and then she'll kind of end her workouts with lighter weights and higher reps, which I really appreciate. I think it's awesome to start out with your heaviest lifts first, doing those compound lifts, and then towards the end of your session when you're getting more tired, to do those lighter weights and maybe focusing more on isolation movements, on unilateral movements, things that are going to strengthen smaller muscle groups or just focus on muscle imbalances. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see more videos like this, or if there is any specific influencers out there that you would like me to review their week of workouts. I would be happy to do that and share my knowledge as well. So without further ado, let's get into this week of workouts. Hello again. This was the last day of Brittany Lupton's full week of workouts, and I am way more sore than I thought I was going to be. I don't really know what I was expecting to feel going into this. I guess I kind of thought it would be really similar to the workouts that I have been used to doing, but I was pleasantly surprised and pleasantly humbled, and I'm going to go ahead and get into that for you guys. Starting off on the first day, which I started on Tuesday, just like Brittany did, I was doing the quad and the glute focused workout, and oh my goodness, I have not done front squats in years, like probably since the beginning of my fitness journey. And you guys, I could not even do one front squat with the bar. I just felt like my form was really off and I was not feeling it in the places that I knew I needed to feel it in, hence my quads mainly, my core and my glutes. So instead of doing a front squat, I went ahead and just did belt squats, and I did it with a more narrow stance to target some of those similar muscle groups. So I will say I did the full workout for today, or for that day, but I kind of modified a couple things. Now, the first exercise I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. If you've been lifting for a while, you most likely know how to do a squat, or you incorporate it on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. For me, this was just kind of a breeze, just did what I normally do for squats. And then, like I mentioned, when I moved into front squats, I had to adjust a couple things. Next, I moved into the step-ups, which I don't really ever do. And to be honest, I feel like maybe doing a leg press would be more effective for me. I just kind of felt like the step up was a slightly awkward movement for me, probably because I never do it. And I think trading in something like a leg press would be really good because it is more of a compound lift. You can add more weight to a leg press, most likely, than you could a step up, because a lot of it is grip strength. So as you can see in the video, I was using a kettlebell for this. I just wanted to make sure that my form was on point and I wasn't like using momentum. I was using mostly my muscle to, well, all my muscle to pull myself up and to step onto that box. But I probably won't continue doing these. They're just not my favorite, and that's a personal preference thing. Now, I did not get to film my full workout for this day, so I just had some of the clips that I could film for you guys here, but I just want to point out that the lunge squat variation at the very end that Brittany Lupton supersets with the quad leg extension, that just demolished my quads. When I was going into that superset, I was like, oh, this will be easy, lightweight, whatever. It really challenged me a lot. And I think I'm going to continue to incorporate that superset in my quad days more often because I am a more glute dominant person. And so most of the time my glutes will take over. But whatever it was, doing that variation with the quad extension, I could feel it in my quads like no other, you guys. So I highly recommend that. Moving into back day, I really like that she started with pull-ups first because I am working on pull-ups right now, working on being able to do more reps and also get that full range of motion. So making sure that I'm starting from a dead hang and not just kind of like pulsing it out, if that makes sense. I try to prioritize that exercise first on back day because it's what I'm working on, and I don't want to save it to the end when I have less energy and I'm feeling more fatigued. So I appreciated that, and I felt like it just kind of overall helped activate my muscles for the rest of the workout. I didn't get to do the variation of the row that Brittany was doing for her second exercise. We don't have a machine like that at our gym, so what I did was just an overhand grip row with a barbell, and I used a little bit wider grip to try to target similar muscles as Brittany Lupton. Now I probably could have done another variation where my chest was supported, like using a bench and then maybe using some dumbbells or even moving a bench over to the cable area, but I just didn't really feel like going to all that trouble, and there was quite a few people in the gym, so I just tried to make the most of the area that I was at in the current moment. Next were just regular cable rows. Again, I feel like that's another exercise that's pretty self-explanatory. It's definitely a core movement for training back. So if you aren't currently incorporating that exercise into your back and bicep days, I would highly recommend doing it or incorporating a variation of a cable row. With the back cable flies, I absolutely love this movement. I incorporated at a similar timing as Brittany does towards the mid/end of my workout because I feel like it is working more of those smaller muscles in your back, but muscles that we shouldn't neglect. And I feel like doing this particular exercise has really helped me develop my back and to see more definition in my back. I think movements like this, where you're lowering your weight, you're really focusing on that contraction of those muscles in your back, is awesome. Lastly, Brittany moves into an iso bicep curl, which I had seen her do on some of her Instagram workouts before, and I actually started trying it out a couple months ago and have been absolutely loving it. Something that I didn't realize until I guess the last year is that it's not all about building shoulders. I know for a lot of us women, we want to have strong shoulders and a strong back, like when we're wearing tank tops, wearing dresses, whatever it is, but you're gonna see more shoulder definition if you're really working on targeting that bicep, making sure you're getting full range of motion and incorporating single arm isometric movements like this so that you are kind of equaling out any muscle imbalances that you might have. Because what happens is your shoulder is going to essentially pop more. You're going to see more of that line between your shoulder and your bicep if you have a strong bicep. I don't know if that makes any sense. Just a little side tip there. Next, moving into push day, which is chest, triceps, and shoulders. I feel like this workout was almost identical to something that I would do and incorporate in my push days. For example, the shoulder press and the chest press were the first two exercises in this workout day, and that's exactly what I would have done, to be honest. I've been training chest a lot more recently. The only thing that I felt was a little bit challenging about this particular workout was the superset towards the very end with the tricep extension, the overhead tricep extension, on the bench into the narrow chest press. That killed me. Another one of these humbling exercises where you're like, I can bench all this weight, I can do all this weight on like shoulder press. And then when you do something like this that does more muscle endurance, you are just like, oh my goodness, I feel this so much. In a good way though. Like I was probably the most sore after this workout. And again, one of those things that I want to start incorporating more in my everyday split. So highly recommend that. The other exercises I won't go into too much because they're self-explanatory, like the tricep extension, the chest press, and the shoulder press. The one thing I do want to mention though on this day is she does her push day right after she does her pull day. And for me, I like to give myself a day of rest in between upper body days. Even if they're opposing muscle groups, I just feel like I can't give 100% the next day if I do upper body back to back. So personally, I would have liked to do the next leg day after push day and then do back and biceps, or to give myself a rest day in between those two upper body days and then finish out the rest of the week. And the last leg day, the one that I did today, which was glutes and hamstring focused. Don't really have anything negative to say about this workout or anything that I would have done differently. I always incorporate hip thrusts and RDLs as some of the first movements in my glute and hamstring days. So there wasn't much of a change on this for me. I really enjoyed that this was a shorter leg day because by the end of the week, I am just toasted. I'm a lot of times sore and I just needed to have a shorter workout. All that to say, we did the RDLs first and then the hip thrusts, ending with Bulgarian split squats and back extensions. If you have done Bulgarian split squats before, you know that this exercise will always burn out those quads and those glutes, which in this case, she was doing a more glute-focused Bulgarian split squat. So I was definitely feeling it, definitely ready to finish up the workout at this point. In conclusion, would I recommend this workout to a friend / should you work out like Brittany Lupton? We all want to know. I would say it really depends on your goals. I don't have anything negative to say about her workout split other than just personal preference things and just body mechanics that I may have that are different than Brittany Lupton's. That's probably going to be the same for you. You may try somebody's workout and just be like, I don't really like this. A couple things feel a little off for me, and you can just modify it. Like, don't feel like you have to work out exactly like your favorite influencer just to get the results that you're looking for. I would say try a variation of different things until you find those movements and those rep ranges that really sit well with you and you feel like you're getting a good contraction, a good pump, you're feeling it in all the right areas, you're not having any pain in your low back. That's always a good sign. One way to know if working out similarly to Brittany Lupton or to me, I would say, because we're kind of similar in how we work out, is are you training for muscle strength? Are you training to grow your muscles or to maintain the muscle that you've already grown? I would say, yeah, probably check out somebody like her. If I was rating this workout split on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate it at an 8.5. I loved that it was 4 days, gave me a lot of room in my schedule, a lot of flexibility, and I felt like it prioritized the things that needed to be prioritized and also gave attention to some of those muscle groups that we don't really think about. As far as what level this workout is, as far as like beginner, intermediate, or advanced, I would say it is an intermediate workout. You might struggle with some of these movements if you're a beginner. Not saying that you shouldn't try them, but just maybe get a personal trainer or someone who like knows what they're doing or has qualifications to watch you and make sure that you're performing some of these movements correctly. I wouldn't label this as necessarily advanced because while it does have some more complicated movements in it, it's not overly complicated. I would compare it to Natasha Ocean. I don't know exactly how you say her name, so I apologize. If you have seen Natasha's videos, I have a couple of her workout guides. I would say that's pretty advanced. A lot of her movements are very complex, a lot of plyometrics, a lot of weightlifting with like jumping and doing all these like crazy little push-up, handstand push-up things. I don't know why I did that, but just go on her Instagram. If you look at any of her Instagram things, you're like, okay, yeah, it's pretty advanced. So I would say we're not quite there with Brittany's things, but again, it just kind of depends on what your strengths are. Like for me, I wouldn't say like my strengths are in plyometrics. I would say they're more in like hypertrophy and strength training. So yes, that is all I have to say, and I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was an in-depth review for you guys and just gives you some thoughtful tips to apply when you're creating your own workout split. If you haven't already, don't forget to click the subscribe button if you want to see more reviews like this. Comment below if there's anybody else you want me to do a review on. And don't forget to like this video as well, just to support my channel and allow me to continue to make videos like this. I will see you guys in the next one.